I finally fell asleep and dreamed I was walking along a village road. Children dressed only in strings of beads played in front of the round huts, and several old men waved to me as I passed. But as I went farther along, I began to notice that people were looking behind me fearfully, rushing into their huts as I passed. I heard the growl of a leopard and started to run into the forest, tripping over roots and stumps and vines, until at last I couldn't run any longer and I fell to my knees in the middle of a bright clearing. Panting for breath, I turned around to see the day turn to night, and a giant figure looming as tall as the trees, wearing only a loincloth and a ghostly mask. The lifeless eyes bored into me, and I heard a thunderous voice saying only that it was time, and my entire body began to shake violently with the sound, as if I were breaking apart. I jerked up with a sweat, hitting my head against the wall lamp that stuck out above the bunk. In the darkness, my heart slowly evened itself.
Chapter 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of
What I was suggesting, you're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not
Christian
come
faith.
My Christian faith. And well, what I'm saying is he hasn't suggested that I'm.
I'm going to read to you something. Everybody know Obama's logo? What is it? It's an O, and then it's over the stars and stripes. Well, we're called the West, aren't we? Isn't that the name for us? We're the West. So Obama's logo is an O, and it's coming over the West. Looks like the sun rising over the American flag, which is the West. I want to read to you something from the Quran, and it says, "And when the word is fulfilled concerning them, we shall bring forth a beast of the earth to speak unto them, because mankind had not faith in our revelations." That's the Quran 2782. The Prophet of Islam declared, the first signs that will come is the rising of the sun from the place of its setting. That's Obama's logo. The sun rising.
What I was suggesting, you're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith.
Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and beyond. This week, the president wrapped up an historic trip to the Middle East with stops in Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan, and then returned home for a naturalization ceremony, visits with the LA Galaxy and Kings, African leaders, young ambassadors, and Spanish-language television. He wrapped up the week by pressing for common-sense action to protect children from gun violence. That's March 22nd to March 28th, or
That's where peace begins. Not just in the plans of leaders, but in the hearts of people. I'd like to focus on how we, and when I say we in particular, young people, can work together to make progress in 3 areas that will define our times: security, peace, and prosperity.
My Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not come my Christian faith. And well, what I'm saying is he hasn't suggested that I'm a Muslim.
And today I want to tell you particularly the young people, so that there's no mistake here. So long as there is a United States of America, Atem lo lavad. You are not alone. The question is, what kind of future Israel will look forward to? Israel's not going anywhere, but especially for the young people in this audience, the question is, what does its future hold? And that brings me to the subject of peace. Got it. But this is precisely the time to respond to the wave of revolution with a resolve and commitment for peace. But the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, their right to justice, must also be recognized. And put yourself in their shoes. Look at the world through their eyes. It is not fair that a Palestinian child cannot grow up in a state of their own. Living their entire lives with the presence of a foreign army that controls the movements, not just of those young people, but their parents, their grandparents. It's not just when settler violence against Palestinians goes unpunished. It's not right to prevent Palestinians from farming their lands or restricting a student's ability to move around the West Bank or displace Palestinian families from their homes. Neither occupation nor expulsion is the answer. Just as Israelis built a state in their homeland, Palestinians have a right to be a free people in their own land. But it's possible. Negotiations will be necessary, but there's a little secret about where they must lead. 2 states for 2 peoples. 2 states for 2 peoples.